What's up everyone? So today's video I have something a little bit different than normal for you. I am bringing the very first interview to this YouTube channel. So I am out here in beautiful sunny Bali. I don't know if you can see it behind me or not, who knows, but I'm here in Bali and I met a good friend of mine, or someone that I've been speaking to online for a couple years now, Olumide, also known as a Globopreneur, and we decided to sit down, record an interview for you guys, talking about what he's doing out here in Bali and a few tips and tricks around the digital nomad lifestyle. So I hope you enjoy this, and let's cut straight to the interview now. What's up everyone? So we are coming to you today from beautiful sunny Bali. I am joined by Olumide, a friend of mine who I first met on, I think we first got to know each other on Instagram over the last year or so, maybe.
Wow, yeah, very true.
So I wanted to sit down with you today. This is something that I haven't done before on this channel. So everyone that's watching this is very new. We haven't done many interviews or any interviews here before. The only place I've done that is on my podcast. But we were sat down earlier today, we were having lunch, and we were also doing another video on Olumide's channel, which you guys can see. I'll put the links under this one when it's live, talking about digital nomads, like what is a digital nomad, and lots of other questions around positives, negatives, etc. And I thought it would make sense to sit down with you, introduce you to my audience, let them get to know you a little bit better, and then maybe just see if we can give people some advice if they are looking to start a business or if they're looking to get into the travel and work thing, digital nomad thing, and just take it from there. So it's going to be fairly loose, but first I want to get you to say hello and let people know who you are if they don't know about you already, if they haven't followed you on Instagram or seen any of your other stuff.
Well, thank you first of all, Dylan, for allowing me to be on your channel and sharing me with your audience. I'm so grateful. Never take those things for granted. But as Dylan said, my name is Olumide. I guess you classify me now as a digital nomad, right, and we could talk about all the intricacies, but I've been traveling for the last probably 2 years and working at the same time. But I would say not until the last 6 months is where I've become truly someone that's working remotely, being able to create a good income and to be able to live in different countries around the world. I've traveled to Europe primarily. I've been in Denmark, I've been in Germany, a lot of my travels. And now I'm here in beautiful Bali, as Dylan mentioned. So for me, I started a marketing agency about 2 years ago, but the formula and knowing how to travel, where to go, how to reduce your cost, all the little intricacies that there's no manual really out there about is what I've had to learn in the last 6 months. So I hope we cover that today. But again, excited to be on your YouTube channel, man.
Yeah, man, it's good to have you here. So I think some people that have maybe started following me on this channel recently may not know, because I'm now living, or home for me is in Tallinn in Estonia, and a lot of you guys are starting to associate me with that place. But I'm spending a month here in Bali. Before that, before I settled down in Tallinn, I was doing a digital nomad thing. I was working remotely for a software company, and I traveled to I think 16, 17 different countries in a 12-month period, working whilst living on the road, right? So some people, this will be the first time they've heard this. Some people will know what a digital nomad is, what a remote worker is, but some people watching this may have no clue what we're even talking about, right? So maybe let's start with that. When we say a digital nomad, what is that? What are we talking about?
Yeah, so I think there's different definitions, but really my definition is someone that's able to create an income for themselves while traveling or living on the road. Someone who literally has created a business that allows you to create a recurring revenue or some sorts of solid, and I say solid because, again, going back to my past, it wasn't solid. It was sort of hopping from client to client,
right,
but creating a recurring revenue as if you were working a 9-to-5 job, right? But now you're not working a 9-to-5 job, but you make enough money that you can live and enjoy life. And the biggest thing is probably the freedom of travel.
Right, and I think that's something that people maybe misunderstand sometimes, is they see me here in Bali for a month and they see other people that they follow on YouTube or Instagram, wherever, traveling whilst working on their business, and they think that maybe you have to be a millionaire to be doing that, or you have to have your business at a point where it's super, super successful. And one thing I want to talk about today is I'm grateful that I'm in a position where the business is doing pretty well right now, but you don't have to wait to that point to travel and to work whilst you're traveling, because I actually think, we talked about this earlier on, if I'm just starting a business, I'm just starting an agency, an e-commerce store, dropshipping brand, whatever it might be, sometimes it can actually be an intelligent decision to go and base yourself somewhere else, because you can lower your overheads like significantly whilst living a better quality of life. Like
Let me just interject on that.
Ahead,
in San Diego, where I usually am based, I spend a minimum of around $1,200 a month on housing, food, my general costs minimum. Sometimes it's higher.
Right.
In Bali, I don't think I'm spending more than $500.
Right.
So that should give you a perspective, but I'll let you keep
Yeah,
going.
because I think that's something I wanted to talk about, because people often are always, when it comes to starting a business, growing their business, starting traveling, they're always holding themselves back, thinking like, I'll wait until we get to X revenue number, or I'll do that one day. And actually what I wanted to do with this video today is like give some people some tips if they are watching this and they're thinking, okay, I want to get to a point where I can travel whilst working, whilst building my business, or maybe I just want to travel and be able to fund that travel by doing some freelancing work online. Like, you don't have to go out and try and build a huge, super sustainable business. Like, if you're the kind of person, maybe you're different to me, if you're the kind of person that wants to just travel, enjoy the world, and fund that travel by doing maybe a few designs for someone every single month, or managing one person's social media or something like that, that is also possible, right? So my question to you is, before you started the whole digital nomad, like traveling whilst working journey, how did you get to a point where you could do that? Like, what did you have to take into account before you were saying, okay, this is something I can go with?
And I'm always transparent in everything when people ask me questions like that. And the truth is, like I said, 2 years ago, it was a lot of travel and not making money while traveling. It was money that I'd made from different events. I had a couple other businesses that I'd saved up money from, and I was spending and not making anything really. Maybe I'd get a few referrals for branding once in a while. I have a few coaching calls, but I wasn't creating a sustainable business that brings in monthly recurring revenue. The biggest thing that changed for me was the first time that I started offering a more higher ticket coaching and actually having people book on my Instagram coaching sessions with me for branding, where I was like, okay, I'm not going to charge you $500 a month or $500 one time. I'm going to charge you $500 a month. And after I finally was able to pick up a few of those people, by the way, just to go back for a second, that's not enough to necessarily travel in the beginning. Just $1,000, which we can go over that. But $500 for several people that I was getting month after month after month. If you want to be a digital nomad, you can't. I mean, there's other people that grab their backpack and they backpack through the mountains. And if that's cool for you, I respect that. I'm going to do that actually sometime in my career. I'm going to go into these. I'm going to go hiking in these mountains, but you have to try to create at least $1,000 plus in guaranteed monthly recurring revenue, or you're going to be screwing yourself on the road because you're hoping you can pay for this hostel. And again, I'm being honest, this happened to me 2 years ago. I was barely making it to where I'll get a few clients, I get a few one-time clients, and I'd be like, all right, man, yeah, Berlin is pretty cool, but Berlin's freaking expensive for a nomad, right, compared to Bali, right? So the first step that I took, Dylan, in getting to the next level of really becoming a real nomad is to create a business that gives me a monthly recurring revenue, whether it's through consulting, through monthly recurring revenue, or what I do primarily now, which is my digital marketing agency, running Facebook ads for gym owners, business coaches, and all sorts of different niches. So that's what I
think that's a really good point. Actually, even if we cast the digital nomad thing aside, like whenever I'm teaching you guys about building out, whether it's your agency, whether it's your drop shipping business, your Amazon FBA store, your coaching brand, like I'm always telling people here to focus on that monthly recurring revenue, those retainers, right? With my agency clients, like one piece of advice I would give to all of you guys, and I think I've shared this on the channel before, is don't just do like a rolling monthly agreement. Like make sure that from the start of the process you agree to a 3-month term
minimum.
Get that commitment minimum from the client, and then after that you can go month to month. And like for a lot of you, if you do want to travel, you want to come somewhere like Bali, like of course I'm living it up here, but we're still not spending a lot. If I wanted to like budget, you could do that probably off the back of one client on a retainer. If you get 1 3-month agreement, 2, you can have a great time. 1, you could definitely make it by. And I think that's something you guys should all focus on when you're building out your businesses, is like a lot of you, I think, feel like you need to bring on lots of clients and the churn is quite high, whereas actually all you need to do is if you raise your prices a little bit and focus on retainers and longer term retainers, life will be a lot less stressful for you. Like, it may take a bit longer to find a client. So if I'm a social media agency or a paid ads agency or whatever, I could probably sign up like local mum and pop shops very quickly, but it would be low revenue. If I wait a little bit longer and try and increase my prices and go for higher ticket people, it might take me a bit longer to land a client, but when I do, let's say I land a 2K or a 3K a month retainer and it's a 3-month agreement, that's 6K or 9K. That's
you can figure out the rest later, baby.
Exactly.
Figure out the rest later.
You can live for a couple months here with that kind of money. So I think that's one thing to remember, is if you do want to do this like travel whilst working thing, there's different ways you can approach it, but my recommendation is to be intelligent about this, and like, some people just hit the road with nothing, and that's fine if you want to do that, if you want to put yourself through some additional like stresses, but I think that's not going to impact you and your business in the best way. I would recommend just trying to find 1 or 2 retained clients first, and then once you've got that stability, then hitting the road. I think that would be like some advice from me. I don't know if you agree with that.
That's exactly what I did.
Right.
And we can give a shout out to our friend Iman Gaji.
Right.
Shout out to Iman. Iman is a tremendous person that you guys should look into. But I actually did that 3-month before I came out here.
Yeah.
I got 2 clients on a 3-month guaranteed retainer. Like, listen, guys, no matter what happens, you will pay me for 3 months.
Right.
Okay? Here's a 10% discount if you pay all of it up front.
Right.
So that was the big game changer for me. Like Dylan just said, get that 3-month commitment, make it high ticket. Now, to be honest, I don't charge less than $1,500 anymore. Like, my $500 initially was what got me out of my hole.
Right.
But to really progress, to get into this lifestyle, I don't charge less than $1,500 a month plus ad spend, because I'm running ads and they're paying for their advertisements as well. So that's such a brilliant thing that you said that. Get those 3-month commitments and then come and figure out the rest later. And by the way, we just finished the 3 months and they love it.
Yeah.
So it's good news. Like, it's like something that if you commit to and you believe in yourself and you learn along the way, and you get people like Dylan you can consult with, that you can do coaching with, you'll be totally fine. It's scary at first, but you'll be totally fine.
Yeah, and that's where the biggest like growth in your life and in your business will come from, is those moments where you're uncomfortable. So I do encourage people to like push themselves to a place where they're starting to feel uncomfortable, but also just be sensible about it. Like, I would never encourage you guys to just like pack up everything and leave with no plan in place, but also I want to remind you that, like, if you're just starting out, maybe you're struggling, like, it really can just take 1, sometimes 2 clients to replace the income that you were making in your job, or to have you like super happy. Like, I have people that contact me all the time that are like $2,500 a month is enough for them, and it's like, you can get that from 1 client if you go for the right kind of people. So I know that's off on a side note a little bit, but I think that's some really useful advice based on what we were discussing. Maybe let's quickly go to, like, what are a couple of, you've traveled a lot over the last couple years, right, whilst working and whilst doing this, so have I. What have been a couple of your favorite destinations so far that you've been to?
To be honest, like,
I know they're all very different, right?
Yeah, you're talking about going from Europe to like Scandinavia to like now beautiful island Bali. Interestingly enough, I like Hamburg, Germany. Hamburg, Germany is different than other cities in Germany because it has this sort of like hipster vibe, and don't judge me if I'm saying this is how I feel, this is mine, so don't judge and don't be mad, but I just got a good feeling of more like people being open there. The culture was just very open and very, very welcoming compared to other German cities.
Right.
So I had a real fresh, cool, fun time with friends, and also was able to still get work done while there. But I'm sorry, man, we're in Bali, Indonesia, and I'm not leaving. So I've been here almost a month, and I think like you, settling in Tallinn, Estonia, and finding a base, that's really also a part of the nomad life, where sometimes you get to a place you like, and for the next few months, to be honest, I don't think I'm going to be living Bali. I really love it here, and I think I'll be here for a little while. That's
awesome, man. I can totally see why. Like, this place is like, just looking behind the camera behind these guys, like all these beautiful trees.
Throw some B-roll in there.
Yeah, like, it's so nice here. So I think for this video, I think this is good. I think the people are going to really enjoy this. I want to encourage you guys, like, if you have enjoyed this video, do me a favor, like, go and check out Olumide's like Instagram, his YouTube channel, everything else. We'll put everything down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to me if you haven't done so already, and I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to start trying and bring more interview style content here too, because I think it's really important to mix that up along with the more how-tos and guides that we go through. I get to meet some really cool people like you when I'm traveling or just through work in general, so I want to share some of those relationships here on the channel, so you guys can look forward to that. Thanks for watching this one. Thanks for joining me, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you, guys.